How are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you doing, Trisha?
I'm so good. It's so incredibly nice to meet you face to face.
It's great to meet you too.
Welcome to Inter Ethers interviews. And we basically I have one form of criteria, and that is I don't look for anyone.
Mhm.
I don't seek anyone out, but your reels will appear in my Instagram reels. And really, what it is about someone that makes me want to know more about them is it's either their music that is moving or their story that is moving. And your song, I believe it's called Black Tea,
It's called Swimming with the Shirt On.
Swimming with a Shirt On.
Yeah,
That was the first song that I heard, and it is so beautifully written and so touching.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Can you tell us what Swimming with a Shirt On, what that song means to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of I've never really written a song like that before. I've kind of struggled with my body my whole life and my body image, and I mean, an example for that for me was like I always struggled with taking my shirt off in a pool. I never wanted to take my shirt off in a pool because it almost felt like, and this is, I've talked to many people, and this is, I know this is just my brain like overthinking, but it almost felt like my body was a burden to other people because I didn't look like everybody else in the pool. And yeah, I don't know. It's a really hard song for me to sing, and a hard song for me. It was a hard song for me to write because I had been dealing with those feelings ever since I was like 5 years old, ever since I first stepped in a pool. And to this day, I never take my shirt off in a pool because I'm always so scared of what people will see underneath and what people will think. And I know that's not very healthy, but that's just how I felt, and I wrote about it.
I don't think it's unhealthy. I think it's just how you feel.
Yeah,
And I think it's just something that you personally have struggled with for a really long time in your life. And
yeah,
I do also find it incredibly brave that you shared that vulnerability with thousands of people on the internet. It kind of opens you up to accolades, which are great, and people like me that really applaud your vulnerability and singing about it. It's a beautiful, beautiful song.
thank you.
But I'm sure it also opens you up to the not so nice part of the world.
Yeah.
Do you receive negative comments as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, there are comments, that I receive that are like, oh, like just do something about it, go to the gym. Like it's like the type of stuff that's like kind of a lot of backhanded comments and a lot of comments that I don't really need to see. But I mean, I mean, every song you post, and every artist knows this. It's almost bound to get some type of, hate from people, and that's just what being an artist is. Not everybody's gonna like everything you do, and there's so many opinions. But I think I that song is just exactly how I feel, and I think anybody else's opinion shouldn't diminish what I feel in that song because that song came straight from me. I wrote it by myself in my room. I wrote it like in July of 2024, and I was just like sitting with my thoughts, and that that's just what those words are me.
That's
And
why that's what I love about your music. It's just you. You're not writing it for anyone, you're writing it for yourself.
I'm writing it for myself. That's what I've always done that. And I think almost, it's almost like, and people, a lot of artists say this, but it's like writing is my form of therapy. I think I mean, I've done therapy and counseling before, and they've been great for me, but writing is a true way for me that at least in my experience, that I can really let all my emotions out without it being filtered. I'm never filtered in my writing. I might be filtered in conversation or like to friends of how I feel, but when I'm writing a song, I write exactly what I feel and how I feel in the moment. And yeah, that's what I've always done.
I just want to share that song. Do you mind me playing it right now?
Of course, you can play it.
It's just a little snippet from Instagram,
Of
but
course.
yeah. It's really just such a window into your soul, and it's so incredibly beautiful. Um, have when if you think about like when you were, what strikes me is that no one would know what was going on in your mind when you're just contemplating jumping in with your friends or not. Like absolutely
Yeah.
no one would know. And it really, it blows me away when people are judgmental because everybody has a story. And there's so much that people hold underneath the surface
Yeah.
of just our just whoever we are. And I find it incredibly beautiful the way the way you put those words together. How long have you been writing music?
I've been writing since I was about, I mean, I've been writing like, little stuff ever since I was like 12, but I really started writing when I was 15 and I picked up a guitar. I started writing during COVID.
Mhm.
And I feel like that was a lot like for artists, I feel like that was a big outlet for people during COVID to express how they felt. It's a hard time for everybody. And yeah, I started writing when I was 15. I was a sophomore in high school and I never stopped. I felt like um, I was never really passionate about anything else other than music. That was always something that it wasn't like it wasn't sort of like anything that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. It kind of just fell into place. That's kind of and I think my friends could attest to this too, and my family. Like, it's just kind of always what I wanted to do. It was always me. Music was always in me. So
Are you self-taught?
I am.
You,
I am.
I,
Yeah.
I'm honestly, I've interviewed, I don't know how many musicians on this program, every single one, and I'm like literally gobsmacked every single time.
Vocally, I've been taking vocal lessons ever since I was like 8, and then I stopped at the end of high school. But I mean, other than that, like writing or guitar, like it's all me. So
You just pick up a guitar when you were 15 years old and teach yourself how to play?
yeah, that was literally it. That was I mean, I was honestly, I was like messing around with the ukulele, and I was tired of it, and so I picked up a guitar. I picked up my mom's, guitar that she had in her case that hadn't been touched for like 5 years, and I taught myself. And then my parents got me a guitar for my birthday the next year. And
Your
that was
mom
really
plays? Your mom,
what?
your mom plays?
Well, my mom and dad were both in like the music business like 25 years ago.
Mhm.
They both
Interesting.
had music business degrees, but after they went to college, they decided they didn't want they didn't want to do the music. They didn't want to be in the industry anymore. A few years after college, and so now my mom owns a jewelry business, and she's great. I love what she's making, and then my dad works for an advertising company. So I always had like music was part of the family, but yeah, my mom used to be, or I mean, she still is, but she used to do it more frequently. She was a songwriter back in when she was like in her 20s, and my dad was an audio engineer. So
Have you ever heard or seen any of the songs that she wrote?
I have. They're really, really, really beautiful. There's
That
this
would
one.
be your
Yeah.
mom your mom sings as
Oh
well.
yeah, my mom's a beautiful singer. She's one of the most beautiful singers I've ever met, and I
That would be a kind of epic collaboration.
it would be, yeah. Um,
That would
um, on
On
my
Mother's
yes,
Day next year. That's,
yes.
just putting
Um,
ideas in your head.
no, but I have heard some demos that she's done, and they're really, really beautiful. There's this one song she wrote called Canyon, and it's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. I still think about that song.
I'm just curious. I mean, everybody's different, but do you ever hear similar, I don't mean musical notes, but like emotional notes in her music and your music?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I think, it was almost like she was in the singer-songwriter pop genre as well, and it's almost yeah, yeah, similar notes. I will say it's like mother like son, or
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
or like son like mother. I don't know how that, yeah, but
yeah.
yeah.
So do you remember Was that the first song you wrote, Swimming with a Shirt On? Was that the first song you put out?
No, I've been putting out. So I put out some like a few high school projects and like when I was in high school. They've been since taken down because they aren't very good. But
Oh, really?
um
You took them down?
no, but yeah, but I started actually releasing music in last year, 2024. I've put out about 4 or 5 songs before that Swimming with a Shirt On one. And I'm working on my debut EP that comes out next month.
Really exciting. That's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Swimming with a Shirt On is one of the singles off the EP. And yeah, it's coming out next month in probably late July. And we're just
Or
finishing up. We're finishing up the last song on it right now. So
how many songs are on it?
5.
Oh, 5 songs. Do you
Yeah.
remember when you put out your first song?
I do. Okay, well, okay. Which one do we count? Do we count like the high school projects or like the ones that I really have started releasing in
I
2024?
suppose anyone that you put out into the public, I mean, were they the high school ones? Did you put those out onto like social media?
Yeah, I did. Those. Yeah, I remember the first song I ever put out when I was like 14. I think
Oh,
I was 15 actually.
how old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay.
I'm 20, but I put my first song out ever when I was 15, and I mean it was just like my dad recorded it, and it was like just me and my dad in our basement, and it was like it was a fun little project, but I took it down because my songwriting just wasn't there then. It didn't represent me as a person, and I know like growth is important, but it just wasn't very good. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool project. And I remember putting it out, and I remember the feeling. I actually really do like releasing music. I think releasing music makes it feel like okay, like I don't have to sit with this feeling I have anymore. I can like let it go, you know?
When
And
when did that realization come that it was a vehicle like into your heart and into releasing things that you were kind of, going through in your own mind?
yeah, I think I came to that realization when I released my song called Someone Else's Face. I released that in June, actually a year ago this week. And I remember that was like a song that I wrote with my good friend Mariah. And that song, you know, I wrote it, we wrote it in like April, I think. We wrote it in April and it came out in June, but we wrote it in April, and the day after I was thinking about how I've grown up now. I'm like, I'm technically an adult, but like I still feel like inside I'm still like a little kid, but in someone else's face. And
Hmm.
um, I I took those feelings to social media and I just posted the song the next day, and it resonated with 4 million people on social media and like overall on Instagram and TikTok. And then I put the song out a month later, and
I think we all feel that way.
yeah.
I think we all feel insecurities. I think we all, we have all of these wonderful ideas and dreams and plans in our brains, and it's just a matter of allowing yourself to express those things.
Yeah, for sure. And I think once I saw what, you know, releasing music like could do like in that form, like where I was like getting all these like the sweetest messages I've ever received, and it was about my song and the words that I wrote, like it was just so impactful to me. It made me realize music can really like help shift lives and change lives. And I think that's why I love releasing music so much, because it makes me feel like I'm doing something good in the world.
Music, above everything else, is just this connector between human beings, and it obliterates languages, it obliterates
Mhm.
geography. It penetrates everybody with a beating heart, and it really brings people together.
For sure.
I find that you expressing yourself and being vulnerable in the lyrics that you're writing and connecting with other people and probably helping a lot of people be more comfortable in their own bodies and their own skin and who they are. You can only be who you are. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
We all come in different packages, and we just have to embrace those packages that we're given. It's actually probably a small fraction, our physical appearance, a small fraction of who we really are on the inside, which is massive.
Mhm.
What songs are, so you have Swimming with a Shirt On, you mentioned, and four other ones. Are they all finished? The four other songs?
Yeah, so there's three singles on the EP that I've already released, and then two that are going with the EP, like when it releases. So five songs in total of a collection. So yeah, full 180, swimming with a shirt on, push you to the side. There's a song called I Want to Learn and another song called Easy Target that I'm really excited about. So
Target, that sounds good. I
yeah.
have I have full 180. Let's listen to full. Your songs, they hit me in such a way. They literally make me emotional. You're really, when did you start writing songs? Did you say when you were 15 or earlier?
Yeah, when I was 15, yeah. Yeah.
And you write really, really well. Do you do really well in English? Like,
Like in English, like an English class,
yeah.
like I mean, yeah, I would say I always got A's in English class. So
You're a poet. Like you are a really beautiful songwriter. Your emotions it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do that. Like the melody that you write all of the music as well, correct?
yes, there have been a few times I've had co-writers on a song, but I I mean, yeah, that song I wrote completely by myself as well.
Will you ever, it's your EP coming out there, it's all you and the guitar, correct?
No, so it's actually there's like a few moments of that. There definitely is. But I actually I love exploring with my sonic,
Mhm. What's
capabilities in music.
what is that? What,
Like the sound of my
oh,
music.
okay.
And I I think a lot of people, they see my videos and they'll, be like, "Oh, guitar guy," like
Mhm.
just get a guitar, but I really think that my music can be like while yes that does work and that's is like the heart of it all. I do love incorporating some pop sounds in it, like pop elements of pop music
Mhm.
in my songs. And while there is a lot of moments of me and a guitar, like Swimming with the Shirt On is in my EP, I think it's cool to add different flavors of really who me, Eli, is
So you're
music.
not in a box.
Yeah, and I that's one thing as an artist, when I started releasing music, I never want to be in a box. I want my sound to keep evolving and keep, changing because I feel like that's what my favorite artists do.
You could do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
You can literally paint it any color you want.
Hmm.
It's yours.
Yeah.
I think that's the incredible thing about this whole Instagram social media platform is you're the vehicle. You are the person creating it exactly how you envision it. And that's what I find really fascinating about this whole platform. Not anyone can do it, but anyone can really be in control and of what they are trying to create. And it's really when you have talent like you, and you also do have a great vision. You can really there's absolutely so many different avenues that you could take it. Um, you recently posted that you were scared about posting new music and
Mhm.
kind of putting it out there. And I just really love the way you do it anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
thank you.
you're
Thank
doing
you.
it all, you're doing it all with fear.
Yeah.
Um, you're
I yeah, it is scary to post, new songs, and I I think I just do it anyway. I think yeah, I think I love sharing music, and that's the heart of it.
Now, is it something that's becoming lucrative for you? Because obviously it's your job, it's what you do. You're doing it for two reasons. You're doing it because you love it.
Hmm.
That's obviously the driving force, but you're obviously doing it to like make a living out of it. Is it something that is, and I'm not asking for any details about your life, something that is like working in your favor?
Well, it is something that I'm working towards it being like, I want this to be, I do want to be able to like support myself fully off of music. Right now, like I am getting, a bit of income each month from it, but not, I do have a part-time job on the side to help,
Right.
support myself and support and, making music is expensive. It could cost anywhere from, you know, 1 to 3K per song to even put it out. So it's like kind of a lot of the like money I'm making right now goes directly back into making more music.
Right.
It's not at the lucrative point yet, but I mean, I do want to make this a full-time job, and I'm working towards that, and that's my dream, and I'm not gonna and I'm gonna keep going. So
If so an absolute dream, you're at Madison Square Garden and it's packed. What three artists would you love to collaborate with?
I would really love to collaborate with this artist, and she's also a really great songwriter, but she writes for other people too. And her name's Julia Michaels.
Mhm. I'm not
Um,
familiar.
she's amazing, and she writes for a lot of like pop, artist projects, and but she also has her own artist project that I think is really, it's what she says on paper is exactly how she feels. And it's like you can tell it's authentic. You can tell that it actually happened. She's not making a story up. And
Yeah.
I mean that's the same with me. Like all the songs I put out, I know a lot of people like a lot of artists they love to make up stories, and for me, I can't really make up a story. It always has to be something that actually happened to me. And so sometimes if I release a song, it could cause like drama because it actually happened to me, with another person. And but
You're not naming names.
no, I'm never naming names, but every song I put out is something that really happened to me. So that's why I love Julia's music. I also love this artist that's really like climbing right now. Her name's Gracie Abrams.
I've seen
Um,
her, not familiar, but the
yeah,
name, oh, is she tall?
yeah,
Hair?
yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I know who you're talking about.
Gracie Abrams is a big inspiration of mine right now. I also, love what Noah Khan's doing. I think Noah is really doing some amazing stuff. I love this artist.
The
He's kind of
English?
a what?
The English?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or no, he's not British, but he's no, he's not British. He's from the US, I think. But
I think I'm confusing him with someone else.
maybe. I also love this artist, Medium Build. He's a kind of a smaller artist, but he's one of my new favorites. That's his artist name, Medium Build. His real name I think is Nick. He's one of my new favorites, and I've been listening to his album back to back all the time. So
Would you ever reach out to one of them to do a collaboration?
I probably would if like when things start like I mean when things start rolling a little bit more, or I might just do it in the next couple. Just you never know what could happen, but
I've just learned that go for it. Ask.
Yeah.
The worst that could happen is you get no response.
I know. Yeah. It's
You
just
know,
like it does, there is something to say about like they are like, concerned with they're like superstars and like I feel like I'm kind of just like, back here. I'm not that level yet, but one day I hope to work with them for sure.
you guys are, every single person that I've interviewed is light years ahead of me with their platforms. And I'm fine with that. Like, you have to start somewhere. You absolutely have to start somewhere. And you just absolutely have to keep taking a step forward. That's just how everybody does it.
Hmm.
Um, when I sincerely touched by something that someone does, I simply try to just convey that in a message. And everyone that I've interviewed has received my message.
Yeah.
And I've gotten no responses, obviously more times than I've gotten a yes. But just the practice of just trying, hoping for the best, moving on to the next thing if it doesn't work out. That's the name of the game. I bet you four of those artists that you mentioned, I bet you one would say yes. I really do.
Well, we'll see.
When you're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. I mean,
When you're
I,
great.
yeah.
You're great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's not being said for any other reason than I literally listen to your songs and feel them so deeply. You are very talented. You're a great songwriter. You're just as good as, the people that are a little bit ahead of you. So you should, if it's something that you want to do in the future, I don't see, I don't see anything that should be stopping you from just asking. It's scary, but it's exciting too at the same time.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So during this whole process, what are some kind of, let's say someone's just starting out writing songs just like you, not really sure, totally petrified.
Yeah.
What? Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
What's some advice that you would give to that person?
I would say don't be scared to let yourself feel. Don't be scared of what anyone else is going to say because it's a song is different than like you saying to someone how you actually feel. I don't know. I think the best songs are the ones that like are completely honest and I don't think that should hold anyone back. I think, the right when the time when I started getting like attention or whatever it is on social media is when I started posting the songs that meant the most to me. Um, write what means something to you. Don't write what you think people would like.
Did you ever hear of Rick Rubin?
My mom has his book and she's recommended to me 1,000 times.
You
But
you should go pick it up and read it. He was the producer, I want to say, the Beastie Boys, I believe Tool, and a bunch of different artists. And but his main thing was someone asked him, "Do you do it for like do you create music for the audience?"
mhm,
And his answer to that was, "I create music for myself. I create music for myself, and if I like it, that's all that matters to me. And then if other people like it, then that's a bonus to."
yeah, for sure. I think something that I have struggled with, and I'm not even gonna like try and lie and say I don't. I do struggle with how people do perceive my art, and that's why my advice is to not to a new person is to not struggle with it because I struggle with it. Because I get so worried about, oh, is this song didn't get enough likes on social media. Maybe it's not good enough. Maybe, but I really love it. And I think that's something to remember is remember what you like and remember taste is Phineas said this one time, Billie Eilish's brother, and he said taste is everything. Taste is you're like, you have to figure out, like, don't care about what anyone else likes or dislikes. Your taste is what matters most with your art.
It,
Yeah.
it's kind of in the creative realm, it's kind of that applies to everybody. Have you ever heard of the director Martin Scorsese?
Heard his name. I don't really know any projects he's worked on.
Probably one of the best directors of all time. He did Goodfellas.
Mhm.
He did Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro, Mean Streets. Just a really, really, really Italian guy. Grew up in Little Italy, New York City, and a lot of his films had heavy Italian influence notes and characters in them. And his thing was, you have to do what you know.
Yeah.
You have to produce and create from the place where you have the most knowledge. Why would you pick a genre where you really don't have any historical memory, relations, stories, anything related to, let's just say, country music?
Yeah.
You can only create from your source, which is yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the reason why I love pop music so much, is that I grew up on it. I grew up on it. That's why I lean into my pop melodies more than I do with, like, I'll never write probably like a heavy metal song. I just don't like that type of stuff.
I don't see that happening.
No, so it's like that, you know what I mean? Like, um, it's
Eli
just,
shows up goth.
yeah, no, that would never. Mm-mm. But yeah, I mean, I think that's just what I grew up on, and that's what I love exploring. But I think at the end of the day, like, that's what made me. That's what made, back to the taste thing. That's what made me have my taste with what I want. So yeah.
I was lost for, I'm so much older than you. I'm 48. But I was, really just searching, searching, searching. And I just always was someone that was very interested in what people had to say, what their story was, just on a very basic level. It was always something very interesting to me. And then I kind of, when you have an idea, I tell this to my kids all the time. As minuscule or ridiculous that you think your ideas are, they're unique ideas to your experience. You should write them down because you never know if it could be something.
Exactly.
A lot of people, all of us, I've been guilty of it for the majority of my life. You have these ideas and they come, and then you never really think about them again. But if you actually sat down, put pen to paper, and tried to make something out of it, you'd be surprised where the journey takes you. Like I'm kind of shocked at where this, simple idea of interviewing people has taken me. It's brought me in front of someone interesting like yourself.
Hmm.
Had I not just taken the next step, it wouldn't have happened. But I remember when I first released my first interview, March 22nd of this year. And I remember having for a few days like dread,
Hmm.
a little bit of dread about,
Why'd you feel like that?
how is it going to be perceived?
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to look like an idiot? Am I an idiot for doing this? Like, is this, is it boring? And all of these things that we kind of judge ourselves, all the ways in which we judge ourselves. And then I just literally stopped dead in my tracks and I was like, because at that point on March 22nd, I had already completed maybe 10 to 13 interviews. And I stopped myself dead in my tracks and I was just like, Trisha, you've literally enjoyed every single interview you've done. And I've absolutely loved every single person I've spoken to. And
Yeah.
that's the essence of it. Like that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Why? Yeah, it's just like, why care what other people are gonna think? You know?
It's not gonna, what is that gonna do for me? It's like, what? they're not gonna,
Yeah, it,
or,
yeah.
you know,
Like it shouldn't matter what others' opinions are gonna do for you. It matters what you do for yourself
you
and
know,
what you think about what you think for yourself, you know?
you're light years ahead of me. I wish when I was 20 years old, those are the things that I was saying to myself. And I'm sure
And I still struggle at it. I'm not perfect about that in any sense, you know. That's something I have to tell myself repeatedly, Trisha.
you're still doing it though,
Yeah.
which I love about you, which you're showing other people and you're encouraging other people to just take one step over the line.
Yeah.
Just take one step over the line. And even though it's frightening and, we're kind of, we have disbelief in all of those things in our systems, do it anyway. Uh,
hmm
and I absolutely love the way you do that. Do you, do you have a favorite song of yours or are they all?
I mean, they're all my babies, but I think my favorite song that I have released or not released yet.
Either.
Um, I think my favorite song right now that's going on my EP, it hasn't released yet, but it's called I Want to Learn.
Mhm.
And it's about me learning to love myself and learning not to care so much what other people think about me. What other people think about me. I think I got so lost in that for a while, and I was just fed up with it, and I was just like, I just need to decide what I want for myself, and it's about learning to do that, and it's a really important song for me. And I've played it for people, and like some people like that's their favorite song of mine. Some people like was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't put that on the EP. Like some people didn't like it, and I was just like, you know what? You know what? I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, I love this song, and I'm putting it out for myself because I don't care what any other opinion has to say on this song. That's what the song means. Like,
I think
and I'm excited for the people to hear that. I mean, I'm excited for people to hear that one because that one really means a lot.
you really have to hone in on your instincts
hmm
and really have to learn how to trust yourself. Because, like you said, at the end of the day, that's all that matters is if you like it. If you like it, it's true, it's authentic, it's what you want to say. And, that's who you are. And that's the music that you make. Eli, can't be any other way, but that.
Yeah.
What kind of, you mentioned for artists, like what other, do you listen to like all genres of music?
I genuinely listen to pop stuff. I really love pop music a lot, and I also love emotional pop. I love ballads. I love an Adele song.
Mm.
I love Adele. I think Adele, the way first of all, she's the most incredible singer of all time, I feel like, but she the way she portrays emotions in her lyrics and words is just so impactful to me. And I always get this almost this feeling in my gut whenever this pain, almost like a pain in my gut every time I listen to her song because, well, yes, it's sad. It's part of the human experience, and I don't know.
It's
I
interesting. What's so interesting about you saying that and describing it in the way that you did, that's you. That's literally you. That's literally the effect that your music has on, I'll speak for myself, but me, for example, it's a very relatable feeling. You describe these relatable feelings to people in a really beautiful way. Your song 180, how you have this expectation of someone that you can trust them and you confide in them and you are vulnerable with those people and all of a sudden you realize they're not who you thought they were. Like
no, yeah, that's the experience I had to go through last summer,
the gut
a year
punch.
ago. It was a gut punch, and it really, really made me upset because I thought this person was, on my side and like on my, rooting for me, and then they just completely, I guess, like flipped the switch and just like, did the opposite, and it really, really affected how I trust people, affected how I let myself into people's lives
I'm
because
sure I'm sure that's a really tricky thing for you being a public figure is, so you have your core friends who have been your friends for years, am I correct?
Yes, yes, of course. Yes, yes, yes.
Obviously, you have your family. They're not going anywhere. But
Mhm.
have you noticed disingenuous new people trying to kind of befriend you and like do you see, do you notice that you're able to notice disingenuous people versus,
Oh, yes, yes, I'm able to notice that now. And I'm able to like I'm kind of able to read I don't want to look at myself as like I can read people, but I feel like I can read people's intentions.
Mhm.
It depends on how they speak, and it depends on if they want something from me. Like,
Right.
I think I'm pretty good at reading that now. After that, and it made me like, reevaluate how, who I let in
Yeah.
to my life. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to be really careful. I speak to a lot of musicians about this. You just have to be really careful about, obviously what you put your signature on. And
Yes.
I'm sure your parents will only be, and I'm just saying it only because you're younger. Um,
Mhm.
but I'm sure you'd have your parents like look at something over and
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm an only child, so my parents
yeah,
are very protective.
yeah, I'm sure. Did you want a sibling growing up?
Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. I did find it a little bit, lonely at times, but also like I got to travel the world with my parents, and it was amazing. We went everywhere as a kid.
Amazing. That's
It
amazing.
was,
Yeah, I
it was
have
awesome.
kids. It's very hard to do that with 4 kids.
Yeah, you have 4 kids?
That's like
Yeah. Yeah.
they have built-in friends.
Yes.
That's definitely a plus. So I asked this question to everybody, and we're going to make like a carousel of everyone's answer, just as a little kind of everyone's different perspective. But what do you think is the meaning of life?
Let me think about that for 30 seconds. Hold on.
Hmm.
Meaning of life. I think the meaning of life as humans is to serve and not to. I feel like, a lot of like people like think like, or like with artists in general, I don't think the meaning of life is to be like worshipped in any sense. I think it's to serve, whether that's me serving my songs or like pouring all my music out and like putting it out for people to listen to and relate to. Um, I think, the meaning of life is to serve, like whether that's helping somebody, at like a fundraiser or at the like at a homeless shelter. My friend Abigail, volunteers at the homeless shelter all the time, and she loves doing it, and that's something that like fulfills her. And I don't know, I think the meaning of life is to serve others and to help other people.
I think that's incredible. I've asked that question to about 5 people so far, and everyone that I've asked that to has a very similar sentiment. And that is to kind of be loyal, be true to yourself, and be helpful
Yeah,
people along the way. And I do believe in my heart that there's kind of this like silent revolution. I don't know if it's silent, but it's not aggressive. It's not, there's a silent revolution of humanity happening where you see it a lot you see people really helping each other. You do see a lot of people trying to make the world a better place
yeah.
and really putting a spotlight on what's good. And I don't know. I really feel like, your music, for example, helping people, me.
I want my songs to be the songs that I never had for myself to listen to for other people. I want my songs to be for other people the songs that I never had.
Well,
And
I think it's definitely having that impact I think it's having the exact impact that you want. I think you're feeding your yourself that needed it at a younger age, and then the kids today, or adults for that matter, myself. Do you feel like you have an age demographic, or do you feel like it's broad?
I don't know. I was gonna say like, if you'd asked me before this interview, I would have probably said like probably 18 to 25.
Yeah.
But like hearing you said you're 48 and like like my music touches you, like that made me rethink things. Like maybe it's for everyone. And
I
you know.
I really think so. It's exactly what you said earlier. It's the human experience.
Hmm.
And I think the more we allow the human experience to just be what it is and not have to be perfect and not have to be strong all the time and not have to be confident all the time, that's more realistic than I think the earlier stages of Instagram where everything was perfect. I think it's actually shifting away from perfectionism.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, you see, I think people are sick of it. I
Yeah,
I think people are exhausted,
yeah, yeah.
you
I
know,
agree.
having to like put up the scaffolding of the perfect life. No one has it.
No one has a perfect life. No one, no, and no one will ever achieve it. So I think it's just better to be yourself and be authentically who you are.
So where did your dream came true? Where are you?
If my dream came true,
Mhm.
I would probably, if my dream came true, I would be at Madison Square Garden or at a big arena or something like that, playing my music for thousands of people and people, singing every word back.
Yeah.
Knowing that I touched people's lives.
Did you ever do a live performance?
I've done live performances before. I've done like opening for my friends, like shows before, and I've done like shows here in Nashville. I live in Nashville, so
I should have asked
um,
that.
yeah, yeah. So
Oh wow, that's interesting. Did you grow up in Nashville?
no, I'm from Missouri actually. So I grew up in Missouri. I go to college here. Actually, I go to Belmont. Go to
Okay.
school here. So yeah, this is yeah. I'm still I'm working towards a degree, and I'm also still doing this whole music thing as well. So
You're quite busy. What are you
yeah.
studying?
I'm in the music program here, so I'm in the songwriting program here at Belmont.
And
Belmont's more of a music school, so
where do you work?
I actually like bartend on the side, and just to like pay, you know, for my songs. I have to find a way to pay for my songs, and I have, as much as I am getting like, some attention that all the buzz or so cool.
Yeah.
It does. It's not everything it seems. I'm not to that level yet to where I can be bringing in thousands of dollars. I still have to work my butt off to make this treatment possible.
It's a work in progress, and
Yes. Hmm.
uh, you don't, you know, you don't. Everybody thinks you shoot to the top, but that's only when people recognize you. Is
Yeah,
you
exactly.
finally get to that place of, more so than not, you're recognized. But I no one really pays attention to the slow,
The climb.
incremental climb that it takes to actually get to the spot. And it's just, one part talent, one part hard work, one part perseverance, and a tough exterior.
Yeah, for sure.
An absolute tough exterior. Well, I definitely see you headed in that direction.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I would love to see you on a stage one day performing. I see that happening for you. I just think you're true blue. And when you're that way, but you're also very talented, people just, people like that. People like real. Uh,
Yeah, people like real.
yeah.
I always want to be real in everything I do. So
What are some kind of lessons you've learned throughout this process? What are some hard, like some tough lessons that you've learned?
I've learned that not to get your hopes up, nothing is set in stone until it actually is happening.
Mhm. Yep, that's a good
Um,
one. That's a good one.
yeah, nothing's set in stone until it's actually
Just
happening.
add to that. Don't talk about it until it happened either.
Exactly. Exactly. That's one thing I've struggled with. Exactly.
Because 9 out of 10 times you'll jinx yourself.
Yeah. And that it's important for you to not depend on other people to do the heavy lifting in
Yeah.
my career. I think it all has to come from me,
Yep.
or most of it has to come. I mean, all the work ethic comes from me, and I think that's the most important thing in the world is drive for this industry and as an artist. I think, yeah, those are the two things I've kind of like taken away is that you really have to be confident in yourself and just go for it. I think.
And just have a clear vision.
Have a clear vision. Have a clear vision. And if you
Right.
don't have a clear vision yet, figure out what that vision is for yourself. Write it down. Take some time to think about it
Right.
and make it a vision.
And trust yourself.
Yeah. Trust yourself. Trust your gut. Trust what you know is right and trust what you know isn't right.
And surround yourself with obviously people that have your best interests at heart.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what I found. I mean, even, I work with someone that edits the videos and he could not be a nicer guy.
Mhm.
Someone that I'm older, so I'm not savvy on Instagram. It's pathetic how it's absolutely pathetic. But I have someone really young that gets the story, that gets the vision, that gets
Yeah.
the heart of who you guys are. And she's able to really, capture who you guys are in a beautiful way. And when you have, good people around you, I mean, it all just works.
That's so true.
So, with that, I just really want to thank you for your time. Your,
Thank you so much for inviting me. I love this. Thank you.
your music. I can't wait to see more of what you do. I've played your songs like 800 times in the car with my kids.
Thank you.
Really funny, I've listened to your songs a lot of times, and even though I've listened to them multiple times, like they bring a tear to my eye. Like I always want you to remember, like whenever you have an inkling of doubt creeping up, I just really want you to know that you have something very special and you have something very beautiful and very pure that you're doing. So just keep seeing it through to, wherever it is you want to go and wherever you want to take it. Because I really truly believe that you're a beautiful songwriter and a very special person. I'm not
Thank you, Trisha.
not
Thank
saying that
you.
to make you feel better, like at all. Like I really mean it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means more than you know.
Yeah. So
I likewise for you. I think you're an amazing person
I
after just
appreciate
talking for
it.
you for an hour.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know. I appreciate it. I will absolutely thank you so much for being here. It was an honor. So with that, keep writing
I
and
will.
have an amazing day. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Trisha. I appreciate